What's going on, it's boy JT, and it's Leeds United 1, Blackburn Rovers 1. What an interesting game, to put it lightly. A game in which we had it all in our hands and absolutely shared it up the toilet wall like there was no tomorrow. It started off a little bit cagey, to be fair. It wasn't the most expansive or exciting game, but then again, most Leeds United games were. I saw a lot of you guys saying it was a boring game, it was a dry game. I didn't even think it was one of our worst games, to be fair. I thought Blackburn were actually quite strong in the way they set up. They were defending very decently. They were quite resolute. They were very happy, as you know, to put 11 men behind the ball, and their pressing ability was very good. They were pushing us from side to side well and actually limiting us to not creating too many great chances in the first half, which you come to expect with a lot of teams that come to Ellen Road and don't really want to play us at our own game, because they'll just get absolutely ran through like a Vindaloo on a hot summer's night. So I've got to give credit to Blackburn for the way that they set up today. But in terms of the actual efficacy of their play, they didn't really have that much going forward aside from set pieces. Now, you could see this as subtle foreshadowing for what's to come, but aside from a few set pieces within the game and corners and a couple of deep free kicks where Leeds looked extremely shaky defensively, I didn't really think that we were going to concede a lot in the game. You know, I wasn't really too troubled. So I was always kind of patiently just waiting for Leeds to eventually break them down, for eventually that gap to open, the space to open late in the game when they get a little bit more tired, the same way we did a few days ago. Just wait till they tire a little bit. Wait till those spaces open up. Don't try and force it too much. Because, listen, I would like us to change the way we play, take a few more gambles, and really actually develop a little bit more of an attacking style of play in these kind of games. But I know that's not the way that we're going to play football. So I've kind of got to a point of realization where I'm comfortable to sit there and wait for them to slowly build up the tempo, and wait for that little gap, that little crack. Because listen, this is the Christmas period. This is where a lot of players from a lot of teams are going to be very heavy-legged. They're going to be very tired. They're going to be playing 3 games in 3 days, or 3 games in 6 days, sorry. But you've got Leeds, on the other hand, who have so much squad depth. Like, you could argue last year maybe we had a little bit more individual talent or quality starting 11-wise. But in terms of an overall squad, this is one of the deepest squads I've ever seen us have. You know, this is even comparing to some of the Premier League sides we had over the past few years as well in terms of squad depth. Really, really good. So this is really the perfect opportunity for Leeds to utilise that squad depth to push us upwards in the league campaign. So when it gets to the 70th minute, 80th minute, 90th minutes in these games, especially around this winter period, that is where your fitness and your fresh legs, not just coming off the bench, but from the starting 11 as well, are really going to pay dividends. Because if you've got players like Solomon and Dan James and Perot who are a little bit more rested, even Rothwell, who had the game out as well, he's going to be a lot more rested in the midfield. It's something that can be very, very effective for you in terms of the later stages of the game, because it will allow you to exploit the gaps when they do open up. Because it is not as easy as it's said to sit back for 90 minutes and defend until the cows come home. It is extremely draining and tiring. The first thing you're taught in football is, if you don't want to run around, win that football. Make the ball do the moving for you. If you don't have the football, it is a long day for you, because it is completely off the ball, running around, trying to close down spaces, trying to run around like a headless chicken and pin them into corners. So I think we did kind of allow them to set up in that way, and we allowed them to do that, hoping and kind of believing that we would get that later goal. But I don't want to take away from the way Blackburn played and the manner in which they defended for a lot of the game, which I thought was actually pretty decent. Although, as I said, weren't really offering too much in attack. However, boy, did that change very, very quickly, because this game in the last 10 minutes sparked into life. It became one of the most exciting games I've seen Leeds play this season, really. The way that the action just started popping off, the way that after we conceded the goal, Leeds for the last 10 minutes were actually running around. We were trying to get that goal very resolutely. We were actually taking gambles, taking risks, pushing extra men forward, opening up the spaces, opening up the gaps, having people shoot from range, having people try to take a man on and try to create something, but quickly, not hesitant, not waiting 5 years for the pass, but actually seeing someone and playing it first time and moving off them quickly. I saw that in the last 10 minutes, and it makes me think, why can we not do that for a little bit more in the game and not leave it to the part where we're going into the 90th minute, only 1-0 to the good. Granted, we only just got that goal, but still, we should be going into the 90th minute in these games, at least 2 goals to the good. So if you have another mare from a set piece like we did, inevitably, then it's not going to cost you the entirety of the 3 point, or the entirety... not the entirety, but going to cost you the 3 points in the match, which is exactly what it did today. We did get a penalty in the 88th minute, 89th minute, beautifully slotted by Stroik as well. I know he missed one earlier on in the year, so it's good to see him get himself back firing on all cylinders again. And listen, I was sat there, I was about to light my cigar, I had the sunglasses on, you were chilling, I was chilling, we were about to be walking all the way to a beautiful 3 points, extend that lead at the top of the table, watch others falter and drop points, which is guaranteed today with Sheffield United and Sunderland playing each other. And then, what do? Absolutely capitulate with one of the worst goals I've ever seen from a set piece, in the manner that no one was closing him down. He was left in so much space. The fact that they're able to knock it down with a header and then flick it back across goal on the floor for someone to have an easy pot shot from 6 yards out is not something that should ever be happening in your own 18-yard box. Whether that's zonal or man-to-man defending, you're doing something wrong. You should not give a man that much space that he was given. And it was a very, very scrappy goal to concede. Was it well taken? Yeah, it was decently taken strike, but he shouldn't have been getting in that position in the first place. And the fact that a minute, or literally as soon as we scored, they're pegging us back on the counter-attack with a KSI kickoff glitch and forcing us to give away a corner after we just did the same thing to Swansea when we beat them the other week. You'd think you'd have learnt from what you did to the opposition to not give away that much space on the attack instantaneously in the 90th minute of the game, of all times. But unfortunately we did, and now we're all sat here and we're probably looking at this a little bit more downhearted than we would have if it would have just ended 0-0 in the first place, because we had it in our hands. We could taste the rainbow, touch the rainbow, taste the rainbow, feel the rainbow, and it all got yanked away. And we got absolutely slapped in the face and spat on for good measure. But that was the game. As I said, unfortunately, not quite what a lot of us were hoping for. Not quite to the levels that some of us had expected us to get to. But it is what it is. And unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about conceding another dead 90th minute corner. We just got to hope that Sheffield United now draw with Sunderland or lose to Sunderland, and hope that on the weekend we can pick up another win and get ourselves back moving up the table and getting ourselves hopefully on this start of another win streak. It's just a shame we can't keep those win streaks coming. But let me know what you guys thought about the game anyway. Were there any standout performers for you? If I had to give a man of the match, I did think Solomon played really well in there. I think Brendan Aronson as well has got to be up there. I thought he was right at the end of the game, that last 10 minutes, the heart he was showing. Yeah, I know it was petulant a bit to push the guy who was on the floor and get yourself booked, but just the heart and the determination and the pace and the urgency in his attacking play, I was really impressed by. So I've got to give big plaudits to Brendan Aronson as well, just for the heart he was showing in there. But anyway, guys, let me know what you guys think. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Are you fuming? Do you want this guy to fuck off? Are you happy? Are you happy with the point made? Do you see it as not a big deal? And also, who did you think your man of the match was? Please let me know your thoughts down in the comment section down below. For now, guys, I will see you about a soon. And my brothers and my sisters.